So one of the things we learned from successive reports from auditors general is that government is very, very complex. You hear it from the opposition and from the government. They say, well, we just can't do all of those things. We've had generations of politicians promise a lot, and they can't always deliver. Kim Wright knows all about government. She's the lobby girl. She joins me right now. Is it a losing proposition for governments to try to achieve what the politicians say it can?
Look, you should be grand and visionary, especially when you're running for, whether it's the prime minister.
Is that a license for baloney? What do you mean grand and visionary?
You should be visionary and say how you would like to govern. What Canadians and Ontarians and everyone are frankly tired of are the pages and pages and reams of promises going back. I've been in politics since 1990, and I remember.
Don't tell me, not since then.
Famously, the Red Book that still, talked about pharmacare and universal daycare. Those kids have now had kids, and they still don't have a daycare program, and we're still hearing promises from governments to do it.
And from your party as well.
Yes, but we haven't been the natural governing party that blames everyone else.
In certain provinces you have been.
And in certain provinces we have been, and that's why you're seeing movements towards pharmacare, why you're seing movements toward really equality.
Are we reaching the limits of government? Is government just getting too darn big and too darn invasive, and it's just too expensive and
No, it doesn't have to be, Stephen. Ultimately, what I counsel my clients and what I counsel governments with is show me your budget and I'll show you your values. If you actually care about the things you want to talk about, whether it's autism funding, whether it's healthcare, whether it is actually putting an iron ring around long-term care, then you actually have the ability to do it. Governments may choose not to. They may feel like it's easier to stand up at their press conferences and pronounce than actually do. But that's actually what we have to get to, a place of doing, not just promising.
But during this pandemic, we are seeing governments at all levels making terrible, terrible decisions. And people are saying you just can't go that in depth into a person's life because you can't do it.
But part of that is we have known that there are some flaws in the systems from the very beginning. For years, successive governments, long-term care. Also, we look at our school system. When I was in school, there were problems with the HVAC units. They still haven't been fixed in a number of schools, and that's why you have the heating, ventilation problems in schools, which is contributing.
Is that because governments have been overreaching and not doing the simple things, the basic things?
That's because it's a lot more glamorous to talk about new than fixed state of good repair.
Well, it's not glamorous to talk about how many people can be in church or synagogue or a mosque or anything like that, and they get that wrong.
There's lots of things that I think they can and should do better, and hopefully some of them are taking their time away from the spotlight over the holidays to regroup and recalibrate, because what we're seeing isn't working, and to suggest that students are data points at this point, we're seeing schools closed because of ineptitude.
3 minutes right there, because I want an NDPer to admit, to see it's not working. You just said that. I think it's fabulous. 3 minutes. Thank you. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I hope you subscribe through YouTube and check the description below for Patreon to keep us on the air.